The Oldsmobile Jetfire. In May 1960, while most American automakers were focused on making engines bigger and thirstier, a small team of Oldsmobile engineers was working on something revolutionary. Led by veteran engineer Gib Butler, who had previously helped develop the legendary Rocket 5.8 engine in 1949, they were about to create America's first volume production turbocharged car. The Oldsmobile Jetfire wasn't just another performance car. It represented a fundamental shift in how Americans thought about making power. Instead of the traditional "there's no replacement for displacement" philosophy, the Jetfire proved you could extract serious horsepower from a compact engine using forced induction. The heart of this revolutionary machine was a 215 cubic inch aluminum V8 engine equipped with a Garrett A-Research T5 turbocharger. This wasn't some crude aftermarket setup. It was a sophisticated system featuring an integral wastegate to control boost pressure and prevent engine damage. The turbo delivered 5 psi of boost at 2,200 revolutions per minute, helping the small V8 produce 215 horsepower at 4,600 revolutions per minute and 300 pound-feet of torque at 3,200 revolutions per minute. This achieved the coveted benchmark of 1 horsepower per cubic inch of displacement, something that normally required exotic racing engines or massive displacement. The performance was genuinely impressive for 1962. This compact Oldsmobile could outrun much larger, more expensive cars. But the Jetfire's most innovative feature was something called the rocket fluid injection system. This wasn't marketing nonsense. It was a real engineering solution to a real problem. The system automatically injected a 50/50ths mixture of methanol and distilled water into the intake stream when boost pressure reached certain levels. This cooled the intake air temperatures and prevented the dreaded engine knock that could destroy turbocharged engines. The Jetfire debuted as a mid-year model in 1962, arriving just weeks after the Chevrolet Corvair Monza Spider, which also featured a turbo. However, the Jetfire claimed the distinction of being the first volume production turbo car in America because it went into regular production rather than limited availability. Initially, the development team had considered using a traditional Roots blower system, but they pivoted to the exhaust-driven turbocharger after working closely with Gilbert Burrell, Oldsmobile's chief engine designer. This decision proved prescient, as turbocharging would eventually become the dominant forced induction technology in the automotive world. So why did this groundbreaking car disappear so quickly? The answer reveals a critical lesson about introducing revolutionary technology. Oldsmobile made a massive strategic error by keeping the Jetfire's development secret from their own dealer network. When the car launched, there was no service manual available, and mechanics had no training on the complex turbo system. Imagine buying a revolutionary new car, only to have your local dealer tell you they had no idea how to fix it. The rocket fluid system, while technically brilliant, proved to be the car's Achilles heel. Many owners simply didn't understand that they needed to regularly refill the special fluid tank. When the methanol-water mixture ran out, the engine would suffer from severe knock under boost, potentially causing expensive damage. Owners who experienced problems often found that their local Oldsmobile dealer was completely unprepared to diagnose or repair the sophisticated turbo system. The specialized fuel injection system required careful maintenance and understanding that most owners and mechanics simply didn't possess. The turbo itself was remarkably advanced for its time, but 1960s maintenance culture wasn't ready for such complexity. Cost was another factor. The turbo system added significant expense compared to conventional engines, and the compact car market was evolving rapidly. GM decided to move the F85 and Cutlass models to a larger intermediate platform for 1964, effectively ending the Jetfire's short production run. Production numbers tell the story of missed opportunity. In 1962, Oldsmobile built 3,765 Jetfires during the mid-year introduction. The following year saw 5,842 units produced, bringing the total to just 9,617 cars. Today, only an estimated 150 cars survive with restoration potential. Many Jetfires met an unfortunate fate when their turbo systems failed. They were simply converted to naturally aspirated engines, erasing their historical significance forever. Some owners discovered they could bypass the turbo system entirely, though this dramatically reduced performance and defeated the car's entire purpose. The irony is almost painful. The Jetfire pioneered technology that would eventually become ubiquitous in the automotive industry. Modern cars routinely use turbocharging to increase power while improving fuel efficiency. The lessons learned from the Jetfire's failures, the importance of dealer preparation, service support, and consumer education, became standard practice for introducing revolutionary automotive technology. Today, an original numbers-matching Jetfire with a functioning turbo system is automotive gold. Restored examples can fetch between $40,000 and $80,000, depending on condition and authenticity. The rarity stems not just from low production numbers, but from the tragic fact that so many were modified or had their revolutionary turbo systems removed over the years. The aluminum 215 volts 8 engine found new life in an unexpected place: British sports cars. Rover purchased the rights to the engine design and used it to power everything from the P5 sedan to various kit cars. But the turbo version remained uniquely American, a fascinating glimpse into what could have been if the automotive world had been ready for forced induction 2 decades earlier than it actually embraced it. The Monaca 560. While America was experimenting with turbocharging, France was nurturing an even more ambitious dream. In the elegant workshops of a small company outside Paris, a successful rail industry industrialist named Jean Tastvin was attempting something that seemed impossible: creating a French luxury sports car that could compete with the world's finest automobiles. The Monaca 560 represents one of the most fascinating what-if stories in automotive history. Named in honor of Tastvin's wife, Monique, this project consumed 7 years of development and an enormous personal fortune, all in pursuit of creating what Tastvin called a French Ferrari. The story began in 1967 when Tastvin, flush with success from his rail industry empire, decided that France deserved a prestigious luxury sports sedan. He enlisted the help of Chris Lawrence and Ted Martin, 2 respected figures in British motorsport, to help develop his vision. The original plan was ambitious beyond belief. Tastvin wanted to create everything from scratch: a custom engine, a unique chassis, distinctive styling, and luxurious appointments that would establish a new French luxury car brand. Initial development work focused on a Ted Martin-designed 3.4-liter V8 engine that would be exclusively Monaca's. Between 1968 and 1972, the Monaca went through multiple prototype phases. Various styling iterations were tested, different engine configurations were tried, and Tastvin poured money into development with the dedication of someone who truly believed he could will a new car company into existence through sheer determination. However, reality eventually intruded on Tastvin's dreams. Engine development proved far more costly and time-consuming than anticipated. The custom V8 was struggling with reliability issues, and the mounting development costs were becoming unsustainable. Reluctantly, Tastvin made the pragmatic decision to abandon the custom engine and source a proven power plant from an established manufacturer. The solution came from America in the form of Chrysler's proven 340 cubic inch V8 engine. This 5.6-liter power plant produced 285 horsepower at 5,000 revolutions per minute and provided the reliability that Tastvin's custom engine couldn't deliver. Paired with either a ZF 5-speed manual transmission or Chrysler's reliable TorqueFlite automatic, the Monaca finally had the mechanical foundation it needed. The Monaca's technical specifications were genuinely impressive. The tubular backbone chassis featured a triangulated space frame construction that provided excellent rigidity while keeping weight reasonable. The suspension used a sophisticated de Dion rear axle with trailing arms, delivering handling characteristics that could compete with established sports cars. But the Monaca's true innovation was in its construction. The body was crafted entirely from aluminum, an advanced technique that was still relatively rare in the early 1970s. This all-aluminum construction kept the car's weight manageable despite its substantial size as a 4-door, 4-seat sports sedan. The Monaca was positioned in a unique market segment. It offered exotic car performance in a 4-door configuration that was extremely rare in the supercar world. With a top speed of 240 kilometers per hour, or approximately 149 miles per hour, the Monaca could genuinely claim supercar performance credentials. 22 prototypes were built between 1968 and 1972, each one teaching valuable lessons and bringing the design closer to production readiness. When regular production finally began in 1973, each Monaca was essentially hand-built, with individual attention paid to every detail. The final product was everything Taisvin had envisioned, a uniquely French interpretation of the luxury sports car. The Monaca combined Italian styling influences with American V8 power and French craftsmanship, creating something that had never existed before. So why did this remarkable car disappear almost immediately? The answer lies in a perfect storm of bad timing, unrealistic pricing, and market forces beyond Taisvin's control. At 164,000 francs, approximately $34,000 in contemporary American money, the Monaca cost as much as a Rolls-Royce Silver Shadow. This pricing put it in direct competition with established luxury brands that had decades of reputation and dealer networks to support their premium positioning. Worse timing couldn't have been possible. The 1973 oil crisis devastated the luxury car market just as Monaca production was getting underway. Suddenly, large displacement V8 engines became politically and economically problematic, and the market for expensive, fuel-thirsty luxury cars evaporated virtually overnight. Taisvin's inexperience in automotive manufacturing also worked against him. While his passion and financial resources were admirable, the automotive industry requires specialized expertise in production, distribution, and service that can't be improvised. The extended development period had consumed enormous resources without establishing the infrastructure necessary for sustainable production. The luxury car market was already saturated with established brands like Ferrari, Maserati, Lamborghini, and Aston Martin. These companies had spent decades building their reputations and establishing dealer networks worldwide. Monaca, despite its impressive capabilities, was starting from zero in a market that values heritage and proven track record above almost everything else. Production numbers tell the story of dreams meeting reality. Only 17 Monaca 560s were actually sold to customers, though some sources suggest the total might have been as low as 8 or as high as 22, depending on how prototypes and development cars are counted. By any measure, it was a commercial disaster. In February 1975, Jean Taisvin announced the company's closure. His personal fortune from the rail industry had been consumed by the automotive dream, and there was simply no path forward. The Monaca project, which had consumed 7 years of development and millions of francs, was over. The Monaca represents the last serious French attempt to create a luxury sports car brand after the earlier failure of Facel Vega. It embodies the optimism of the 1960s and early 1970s, when boutique manufacturers believed they could compete with established brands through superior craftsmanship and innovative design. The project's failure marked the end of France's ambitions in the luxury sports car segment. Subsequent French automotive efforts focused on mass-market vehicles from companies like Peugeot, Citroën, and Renault, or specialized racing cars rather than road-going exotics. Today, Monaca 560s are among the rarest production cars ever made. The few surviving examples are extraordinarily valuable, with documented cars selling for between $200,000 and $400,000 at auction. The combination of extreme rarity, French automotive history, and unique design makes them highly sought after by collectors who specialize in obscure European exotics. Jean Taisvin's story is one of admirable ambition meeting harsh reality. He had the vision, the passion, and the financial resources to attempt something extraordinary. What he lacked was the timing, market understanding, and automotive industry experience necessary to succeed. The Monaca remains a beautiful testament to the power of dreams, even when those dreams don't come true. The Monteverdi Highspeed 375S. Our final forgotten gem takes us to Switzerland, where the most unlikely automotive success story of the 1960s was unfolding. The Monteverdi Highspeed 375S represents Switzerland's bold and surprisingly successful entry into the world of exotic supercars, created by a man whose confrontation with Enzo Ferrari changed the course of automotive history. The story begins with Peter Monteverdi, a Swiss racing driver and entrepreneur born in 1934. At the remarkably young age of 21, Monteverdi had been awarded the Ferrari agency for Switzerland, a coveted position that should have set him up for a prosperous career selling Italy's most prestigious sports cars. But Monteverdi's relationship with Ferrari ended before it really began, thanks to a confrontation that revealed both his business principles and his stubborn streak. Enzo Ferrari demanded that the young Swiss dealer purchase 100 cars up front as a condition of maintaining the franchise. Monteverdi refused this demand, believing it was unreasonable for a new dealer in a small market. This confrontation could have ended Monteverdi's automotive ambitions entirely. Instead, it sparked a decision that seems almost impossibly audacious in retrospect. He would create his own cars to compete with Ferrari and other established exotic car manufacturers. Based in Binningen on the southern edge of Basel, Switzerland, Monteverdi established his car manufacturing operation in 1967. His vision was simultaneously practical and revolutionary: create reliable, powerful grand touring cars that could compete with established manufacturers like Ferrari and Maserati, while offering superior dependability through proven American drivetrains. The logic was compelling. Italian exotic cars of the 1960s were notorious for their temperamental nature and expensive maintenance requirements. What if you could combine Italian styling and European craftsmanship with the proven reliability of American V8 engines? The result might be the best of both worlds: exotic car performance with the dependability that luxury car owners actually wanted. The High-Speed 375S made its debut at the September 1967 Frankfurt Motor Show, immediately establishing Monteverdi as a serious contender in the exotic car market. The automotive press was intrigued by this unknown Swiss manufacturer presenting a car that looked like it belonged on the same show floor as Ferrari and Lamborghini. The heart of the Monteverdi was pure American muscle, a Chrysler 440 Magnum V8 engine displacing 7.2 liters, or 440 cubic inches. This massive engine produced 375 horsepower and 480 pound-feet of torque, providing performance that could genuinely challenge any exotic car of the era. The performance numbers were impressive by any standard. The High-Speed 375S could reach a top speed of 229.3 kilometers per hour, or 142.5 miles per hour. The acceleration from 0 to 62 miles per hour required just 8.2 seconds in the two-seater version, while the four-door 3 75/4 sedan version accomplished the same sprint in an even more impressive 6.9 seconds. What made the Monteverdi truly special was the international collaboration behind its creation. The chassis was Monteverdi's own design, featuring a box frame constructed from square steel tubes. This chassis was manufactured by Stahlbau AG in nearby Muttens, Basel Landschaft, ensuring Swiss precision in the car's structural foundation. The suspension components came from established European suppliers known for their quality. Front suspension was supplied by Alford and Alder from the United Kingdom, while rear axles came from Salisbury. Braking was handled by Girling Systems, and steering came from ZF, both companies with excellent reputations for reliability and performance. The body design was entrusted to Pietro Frua, the same Italian master who had styled the Glass 2600 Volts 8. Frua created elegant proportions that successfully combined American muscle car aggression with European sophistication. The actual body construction was handled by Carrozzeria Fissore in Italy, ensuring traditional Italian coach-building craftsmanship. Final assembly took place in Monteverdi's Swiss facility in Binningen, where each car received the attention to detail that Swiss manufacturing was famous for. This international collaboration created a truly unique product. Swiss engineering excellence combined with Italian styling and American power. The High-Speed 375S was offered in several configurations, but the most exclusive was the two-seater version with approximately 11 bodies, completed by Frua's atelier between 1968 and 1969. These cars featured racing-inspired details like center-lock wheels that hinted at their serious performance capabilities.